Hey everyone, my name is Julie Henderson, and I'm one of the coaches who are going to be hopping on tonight to talk to you about what we do and to get all of your questions answered. So if you want, go ahead and find the chat bar at the bottom. Enter in who invited you to this webinar and also where you're watching from, because we have coaches from all over the US, UK, and Canada. So let us know where you are tuning in from today. That's also where you can post your questions. We might not get to your questions right away, only because we're going to try to cover everything that you guys need to know on this webinar. And chances are, if you have a question at the beginning, it's going to be answered at some point. If it's not, then we promise we will go back to the questions at the end and make sure all of your questions are answered. And we also have a special giveaway that we're going to be doing. So you're going to want to make sure to stay on to the end to find out all about that. So I know your time is super valuable, and I want to thank you for taking the time to even hop on this tonight. And so I'm going to have Jillian take over next, and we're going to get started right away and let you hear everybody's stories. So the first coach is going to be talking. Her name is Jillian Shanahan. She is a coach on our team, and she's going to be talking about coaching and using this as your side hustle and just how much that can change your life. So Jillian, take it away.
Hey everybody. Okay, so my name is Jillian. I'm one of the coaches up here in like the Buffalo area. I've actually been coaching for 4 years, and I'm just gonna tell you right now, when I signed up as a coach, I didn't sign up as a coach. So when my coach came to me and asked me to be what they call a discount coach, or to get like a discount referral code, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it, but I'm not coaching. I'm not doing anything. Nothing. Like, if somebody comes to me, I'll send them to you. You can get paid for it. I want nothing to do with coaching. I don't do sales.
Okay.
I don't do any of that. So
you don't have to do the one. To shut it off. Do you hit a one after it?
After what, the code?
Oh, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, so I told my coach, I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not into sales. I'm still not. And I'm not into like social media marketing or any of that. Like, at least I didn't think I was. So what I did was I did the program. I signed up as a coach for a discount. And pretty soon I would have been totally okay doing it just as a discount. But pretty soon, all of a sudden I've got people that are like coming to me saying like, hey, like, you've lost weight, like, you look good. This is, I see that this is what's happening in your life. Next thing you know, I'm coaching people. Don't even know how it happened, but within like a month of me signing up to be a discount coach, I already had people coming up to me and saying, make this work for me, help me. And looking back at it, 4 years ago. So this has it's kind of been like an up and down for me. I haven't been a consistent coach. I started a federal job, and I completely stopped coaching for a year because it was just one of those things where, I was like, well, I'm going to try this and see how this works. And then I came back to it and I realized, this isn't working for me. The hours don't work for me. The cost of daycare, when you add that into it, it just doesn't work for me. You add in all the costs that it takes to, have 3 kids and have a job. It coming home with like $20 a day just simply wasn't worth it. So that's when I was like, you know what? Hold on a second. This coaching thing worked for me before. I'm going back to it. So it's there for you if you want to. I guess I've been all levels. I've been all levels of coaching. It's there for you if you just want a discount. If you don't do anything but do the programs, and I've always said this, like, I will never stop drinking my Shakeology. I will never stop doing my workouts. I've lost 90 pounds from it. I've got the healthiest pregnancy ever right now from it. I wish that I had done it 9 years ago before I ever got pregnant, because I would look like Autumn Calabrese right now. Well, maybe not, but I feel like I would, I was 170 pounds, I think 160 pounds before I had my first kid, and I've already lost 90 pounds. So just imagine, I imagine where I could be. But you do it as a discount, you're saving money every month, and you have a referral code to give to people. If they want to do anything with that, they don't have to. You don't have to invite people. You could take it a step forward and you could move it up and have a little hobby where you get like a little extra money from it. I told you 3. Well, one's my belly, but 2 are loud and out there. 3 if you count my husband. But yeah, so that you can take it a step up further and you could actually be like, hey, well, I'm gonna, maybe make like a couple $100 a month or whatever it might be. Or you could go all in and you could actually make this like a career that replaces a federal level job. I mean, you've got like so many choices here and it's all up to you. And I look back on it and it's like, I know there's so much more Beachbody now than there ever was before. I know Beachbody existed back, God, I was dating this guy, Bob, and it was like, I don't know, it was probably like 7 years ago, and he was doing P90X. It came in the mail, and we're like, a box came, and it said, your Beachbody coach, or like, it comes with a Beachbody coach. We had no idea what it was. Like, if somebody would have invited me to that opportunity back then, when it was P90X in a box that came to your house, I would have jumped all over it and I would have really appreciated it. And now you've got the chance. Somebody's inviting you to do this same exact opportunity. You have no idea. This can take you wherever you want it to go. This is the most exciting thing that I think has ever happened in my life, because it leaves the door open for everything. And I don't know, did anybody have any questions about any of that?
I love that you say that, you started when it was P90X in a box and you wish somebody had invited you to this, because I was exactly the same. I was the P90X in a box and TurboFire, and I didn't know about coaching for years, probably like 2 or 3 years. And I would have loved to be able to do this sooner. And I was looking for something. I was looking for something to supplement my income at that time. Yeah. And this would have been perfect.
Yeah, I actually didn't, I wasn't even doing P90X. Like, it came, like, a guy that I was dating was doing it, and he was like, oh, look at this that I got. And I'm like, a coach? What is it, like some online virtual assistant?
That's what I thought too. I thought it was just like a fake like person behind a computer, and it wasn't an actual real person. Yep. That's amazing. And I love that you're rocking your fit pregnancy too. So congrats. All right. So next up is Melanie Kennedy, and she is one of our Canadian coaches on our team. And she is going to be talking about traveling and being a mom and making it all work.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Melanie. I have been a coach now for 5 years, almost 5.5, and I strictly signed up for the discount. My coach, actually, it's kind of a one of stories about how I met up with my coach, but I did meet up with her, and she offered me this thing called Geology. And because I was studying nutrition, I do have my nutrition certification, and I'm really into holistic nutrition. All I said to her is, don't sell me on anything else. Send me the ingredient list, and then we'll talk. And she did. And I was like, all right, what's this all about? And then she's like, can I have these fitness programs? And I was like, Kate, sign me up. I'm only here for the discount. Soon enough, I saw the opportunity to make money, to build a business. This community of people have been incredible for me, not only before when I signed up 5 years ago, but since then I've been married. I've become a mom. I'm still traveling with my job as a flight attendant. I am now a part-time flight attendant, and I am making money at this, like Jillian was saying, this side hustle. So it's definitely bringing in that income that I'm missing from full-time, but it's also allowing me to stay home with my baby. So the travel component to it, I don't think I can honestly quit my job as a flight attendant. I love it. I love to travel. It is certainly something that fills my soul. And Beachbody kind of, it does the same thing. Like the community, the programs, it's a lifestyle that I live. Who doesn't want discounts? Who doesn't want to get that message in an inbox saying, hey coach, I lost 3 pounds this week. I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. My kids are following suit. They're wanting to be in the kitchen with me. They're joining me in my workouts. I'm being that healthy role model for my kids that I never had as a child. Those messages like fill my heart so, so much. So those are two, like Beachbody and traveling are two things that I will never, ever give up. Before, my mission was to be the healthy role model for the kids in my life. So I'm an aunt as well. But now that I have my son, it's that much more important to lead by example and show him all the healthy lifestyle tools that as an 80s, 90s child, I just didn't have growing up. Like, I don't know about you guys, but waffles and Nutella still to this day is a weak spot for me. It's very tasty, but it's not contributing to my health and wellness. Maybe sometimes some sanity, but that's about it. So with the travel part, what's so great about Beachbody is while I am in airplane mode most days, I can take my 10 minutes between flights, my 20 minutes before and after when I'm at the hotel, before work and after work, and just check in with my challengers. We have some amazing tools that help you as a coach. And of course, our training, which is free for you all when you do become a coach, and the support in the community here. So not only am I able to do 20 minutes and 10-minute pockets and check in with my challengers and set up for success, Beachbody also offers me the opportunity to take my workouts on the road. I used to pack a little portable DVD player and the DVDs, and I bring it on the road with me, and it would make my bag heavier, but I didn't care because health is such a priority for me. And I would do my workouts in my hotel rooms, or I'd take it down to the hotel gym. And that was a priority. But now I have a smart device already, a phone, or work has given us some iPads. And all I do is I log into my app and I press play. And there it is. Like, whether it's resistance bands or weights, I'm able to take that on the road with me. Then I check in with my group and I'm like, hey guys, I got my workout in. I drank my shake today. I'm staying healthy on the road. How has the success been to your day? And just keeping that community is super, super important for me, especially now as a mom. I feel like it's having had this community beforehand and having it now has really been an integral part to my success, not only in my own health and fitness journey as postpartum, but in continuing to be a healthy role model. They're also the community that I can reach out to that it's a constant for me, regardless of where I am, being at baby blues day or like super high, having the best day ever. Like, the community in my health and fitness tribe is just, it's a constant for me. So that's super, super great. Then I come into our coaching community and I'm seeing people celebrate paying off car loans and, as much as people like paying off all their debt and becoming financially free. Plus there's travel. So that's always a bonus for me. I think from this last spring to next spring, I'm going to be on 4 trips that include Beachbody because of this community. So travel for me, again, important. And what's super cool is that when I'm traveling, I'm still able to nourish my body. I am working my body, and then I'm filling my soul and my energy levels up with the community that is this coaching community. Everyone strives to be better. Everyone's there to support you and love on you no matter what. As a mom, same kind of thing. You're finding pockets of time to work out. Nap time's great. I haven't been that mom that's got up at 5 a.m. yet, because sleep to me is very important. But yeah, get up. Do your business before your baby is up. My little guy, Cameron, he's almost 18 months now, and he plays alongside while I'm checking into my groups and leading, chats and calls with my challengers and other coaches as well. And they love it, right? That it's like he's their baby as well. So it really is a community that is family friendly, super focused on bettering yourself. And they say, if ever you want to know and grow yourself, start a business. And it's so true. And I've discovered so many incredible things, so many more blessings in my life because of this coaching opportunity. So much to share. And if you have any questions on travel or momhood, I'm sure a lot of other questions will be answered because we have a lot of moms and we do have some other people who travel for work as well. But if I don't get to your question tonight, feel free to message me, talk to your coach. We can get in touch as well, and I can answer all your travel and momhood questions.
And I love how you are making it work, because I think it's one of those things, especially when people don't travel as much as you do and they just do like 1 or 2 vacations a year. It's really easy to tell yourself that you can't work out or you can't stick to plan while you're doing that. And you've been able to make that work with a baby as well. So that's just amazing. So congrats to you.
Thanks. Yeah. There's that saying, like, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If not, then you'll find an excuse. And this is definitely a way of life for me, and it is a priority. And yes, of course, on the road while I'm traveling, rest is sometimes my priority, as it was these past 4 days, but I still managed to to get my workout in and eat healthy, because honestly, if you don't do those things, you don't sleep well, your energy isn't great anyways. So it all goes hand in hand. The holistic approach is the best approach.
Yep. You start to realize how much it really does affect every other area of your life too.
Absolutely. And because I'm a mom, I didn't get to put lipstick on today, so I thought I'd put it on for y'all tonight.
You're like, this is my dress up time. I love it.
It is.
It was amazing. Thank you. And so next, one of the biggest questions that we get asked is, do you need a large following, or, do you have to be outgoing to be a coach? And I see a lot of people who they want to become a coach and they're nervous because they only have like 200 Facebook followers, or they're not really familiar with social media, or they're a little bit more introverted. So next up, we have Ashley Markotsky, who's going to be talking about all of that.
Hi, Julie. Thanks. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to jump on and, first of all, just to go outside of my comfort zone and do something with these awesome women is amazing, and I push myself every day. But for those of you that don't know, I started coaching 5 years ago. 5 years ago when my youngest son was born, and I signed up. A friend asked me if I wanted to coach, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but sure, if it'll help you, I'll do it. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I didn't understand until probably about a year or so into it, and then I wanted to do it. And then I still didn't quite understand it. She wasn't actively coaching. I felt bad asking questions, so I didn't, and so I kind of dabbled here and there. And then I fell off. And when I fell off coaching and I didn't coach for a little while, it broke my heart. I was miserable. And I realized that coaching just sets my soul on fire, and I need to pursue this. But with that, a couple of different things about myself is that I'm severely introverted. Not severely. I used to be severely introverted. I'm working on it. But I am introverted. And that means that I need a lot of me time to regroup and kind of go put my best foot forward in the day. My current day job requires me to be very extroverted, and that takes a lot out of me. So sometimes I come home and I'm exhausted, and the kids want me, and my husband wants to talk to me, and I'm like, whew, I don't want to talk to anybody. And so logging on sometimes and talking to people it can be taxing for me. But what I've learned to do to kind of avoid those overwhelming feelings of angst and anxiety is to practice self-care. 80-Day Obsession really helped me with this. It was amazing. I was the type of person that was like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to get for everybody else. And the saying is so true, you can't fill from an empty cup. So I've learned to practice self-care. Do things for myself that kind of refill and recharge me, like read a book that I like, listen to my favorite podcast. I have no problem now telling my husband I need 10 minutes to go and just fold laundry by myself and listen to my favorite podcast, or I need to just go for a drive, or I need a day off, or I'm going to go to Indy for the weekend and go to Summit, and I'm going to enjoy myself and meet up and make friends. And that's what I'm going to do for me. And I enjoyed the whole 10-hour ride out there and the whole 10-hour ride by myself, and it was perfect. But those types of things, and even working on my business, I have learned that because it sets my soul on fire, it actually fulfills me so much that kind of recharges me as well. And working out, that endorphin rush, that helps me. So you don't have to be super extroverted, or you don't have to be bubbly all the time and be like, yay, I love everything and all that stuff. You don't have to do that to make this work for you and to make this business work, because you're going to attract your own people and people that are like you and that get you and understand you and support you. And that's the most amazing part of it. So yes, you have to put in work, but you don't have to be somebody that you're not to be successful in this business. And the other part of the question that I wanted to kind of go over is that, do you have to have a big following? No. And the long and short of it is no. You'll get there. But to do this and to start right today, tomorrow, Wednesday, you don't have to have 1,000 followers on Facebook, or you don't have to have the option to swipe up on Instagram. You don't have to have those things. you'll get there by attracting your tribe, by taking care of you, by helping other people. You'll attract your people. You create your own followers. So what you put out is what you get in, right? And that goes for everything in the world, you know? So that happens a lot in your business too. So what you put out there is what you're going to get back. You don't have to have a gigantic following. You don't, like I said, there's apps for that. There are apps to help you do that. And there's training. We load you guys up with training so you guys never feel alone. Or like you don't know where to go, like I did in the very beginning. I just didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I didn't realize there was training, you know, all those things. So you have the basis from this group of women that support you and love you unconditionally. And I hope you guys can't hear my husband reprimanding my children. And the groups that you're already involved in. So if you're involved in a mom group on Facebook, get more involved in those groups, become more involved in those groups, create friendships through those groups. And that's how you will start to grow your following for your business and for social media. And in person. So I do the majority of my business from person to person. And the way I do that is because I follow the program. So 80-day obsession was great for me. It helped me rearrange a lot of things in my life. It helped me gain confidence. And a lot of people were like, what are you doing? Because you're changing so much. Your attitude is changing. Your body is changing. You know, you look healthy. You have more energy. You're not drinking 19 cups of coffee a day at your desk. You know, what are you doing? What's going on? And that's how I created a lot of my relationships recently. And a lot of my business recently is through in person and speaking one-on-one. So there are so many different ways to go about building this business and to make this business successful for you. And you, again, I cannot stress enough that you have such a support system behind you when you join our team that you just need to believe in you, and you'll go so far. So that's all I have.
I love it. And I can still relate to that because I'm definitely an introvert too. And I think one of the things that coaching has really done for me is it's given me the personal development and the tools to realize what I need to do for myself instead of trying to push through it or thinking like that I'm supposed to be like other people, or that like, you know, why can't I be like them, and trying to force it. It's really given me that like, it's okay that I'm like this. This is how I am. And this is how I can, you know, work through it and still make it work. So yeah, it's like the tools that it's given me for the rest of my life, not even with my fitness and nutrition, have just been incredible.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because I actually wrote down acknowledge and accept under my introvert. So under my notes, and that was the biggest part for me. I had to acknowledge the fact that I was introverted and accept that and be okay with that, because there are so many people that are.
Yeah, and learning how to work with it too, because I also like I have no attention span, and I've had to learn like different tools to work with that as well. And like the personal development has just been a lifesaver. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, one of the next questions that we get asked all the time, and one of the biggest things that I hear all the time is, I can't be a coach because I'm not fit, or I can't be a coach because I don't have a six-pack, or I'm not a fitness expert, or I'm not a nutrition expert. None of us are. So we have Amanda Ringler, who is going to be hopping on next to cover that topic for us.
Hi guys, my name's Amanda. I've been a coach for 2 years now. I'm also on the introverted train, so this is a little awkward for me right now, but I'm gonna roll with it. So if I talk too fast, just tell me to slow down or something. But I live in Clearwater, Florida. I've been here for like 5 years, and the biggest thing I think, like I picked this part to share because my journey started at 232 pounds. I wasn't your ideal coach. I don't do the makeup. I wear the hair. I work outside. I'm a very tomboyish kind of girl, but I do like to get dressed up once in a while. So it was huge for me to decide to coach because obviously most people think fitness coach, six-pack abs, rock, big muscles or whatever. So for me to decide, it was huge. I actually followed my coach for a year, and she's like my mom goals coach. She's someone who I like aspire to be one day. But for me, it's still kind of big to share my journey and know that I'm at a weight that maybe other people don't see ideal. So I learned through coaching to love my body and to love myself no matter what size I am. I've fluctuated through coaching. Obviously, life gets in the way, but I've gone up and down on the scale. I've lost a total of 50 pounds through Beachbody. So that was huge for me. It's something I know that works for me and I love. And no matter what you do with coaching, you have to be you. I think Ashley brought this up too. People don't join you to coach or work with you that aren't your people. They're not just liking your transformation photo. They're liking, for me, my hockey pictures, my dog pictures, my date nights with my boyfriend, or my flood pictures from my route the other day because it poured buckets on my route and I was stuck in the rain all day. So it's people who relate to you and not so much who, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not most people don't pick a coach just based on their looks. That's how I feel anyways. If they're picking somebody for just their looks and like their weight, I feel like that's a person who's not going to stick with a program. They're just looking for a fad to lose the weight. And the other part was, do you have to be an expert on being a coach, knowing nutrition, workouts? The answer is no. You have every tool possible through the groups, through the back office, through your coach, fellow coaches in your upline. Everything is at your fingertips to run this business and be successful. It's how much you want to put into it's a job, how much you want to put into your work to succeed. So if you're going to decide to be a discount coach, digging deeper to get my coaching off the ground, to help more women. My slogan is to fight for their future. They're fighting for their future kids, their wedding, their husband. I fight for my dad. That's a huge part of my weight loss journey, is the health stuff he's gone through. So you make your coaching what you want. You can take every single bit that Julie and everyone else put into these groups. Tori shares so much. It's what you take from that and put into your daily life, and that will get you to where you want to go. For me, I'm a work in progress. I want to be the Julie of my team. I want to be on stage at Summit. I want to be Diamond by Summit next year. These are huge goals for me. I have a weight loss goal for Summit by next year, which that's just my own personal goal. But Diamond is my goal for next year. And that's why I'm in the groups I'm in, and I'm pushing and I'm working Instagram. But you have to show up and be the product of the product, or else no one's going to believe in what you do. So show your energize once in a while, that little back of the container, like they say, that just the ingredients but not the name. That's what you have to do. You have to put it out there. I have a group of 5 girls right now in my challenge group, and I'm happy with that because I can personally pick 1-to-1-to-1. Did you do your workout today? Did you do this? Did you do that? How are you feeling? Do you like the program you're on? And for me, I'm very comfortable with that right now, but I am working to be the Julie. So that's where I'm at And if you have any questions, I'm open to it.
I love those goals. And I love your summit goals. And it's so true. Like you mentioned that people relate to, your flooding pictures and your date night pictures and things like that. And that's really what it is. People relate to you and your ups and downs and your struggles in your journey, and people relate to realness. And when you are sharing your journey as you're going through it and inviting people along with you, that's what people relate to, because they see a real person going through it. They don't see somebody who's done it and then they're like, well, they did that, but I could never do it. They see you putting in the work every single day, no matter what, being consistent. And that is what inspires people more than anything. So
a huge thing too, like Carol right now, is modifying. I do my Instagram videos to show the move regular and modify. So somebody who thinks that they can't do it, you can definitely do it, because there's always a way. There's always a way to get it done.
And sometimes you just need that like one person to give you that idea, or like put that idea in your head to be like, oh, I didn't even think of that now, and now you're letting them see that they can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Very nice. All right. So we have talked a little bit about community. We've had a couple of coaches kind of mention it when they've been talking. And so next up we have PJ Fonzie, who is going to be talking just about the community and how much this community has meant to her.
She's talking and she's not unmuted.
Don't worry, I didn't say anything valuable. It was a frog in my throat. So glad you missed it. Anyway, everybody's laughing at me because it's so, it's typical. PJ. So the community. This community, I'm really glad that I get a few more minutes and everybody else to talk about it, because it's so damn impactful and empowering. And if you don't get something out of this community, I'm going to ask to take your pulse, because like it's impossible not to leave any one of our events, live interactions, workouts, meetings, anything, like small little gatherings, whatever it might be. I know for me, there's just like, I even have just a few group messages that just give me life because of the community that we all met in. A little on my background in terms of community. I grew up in a family of 3 girls. So oldest of 4 sisters, I was inundated with female energy my whole life. From there, I went to an all-girl high school. So by the time I was about 17, I'd had enough. I needed a breather. I'd had catty relationships and drama and all sorts of things that I wasn't responding well to. I wasn't behaving well in. So college came, and I was okay being a number, going to class and leaving. I didn't want to build those relationships that I had grown up with. I didn't think I needed them, pretty much. And after college, I moved away. I moved to Miami, and I was down there for about 1.5 years. And honestly, to this day, I think maybe in that short period of time, I only met 2 or 3 women that I still communicate with today. And it's very little. And the men that I met those days were actually better friends to me at the time. And it was then that it finally dawned on me how valuable these female relationships are in my life, and how much I strived to just have that connection again, to have those people that were on the same path as me, that were looking for, the same things, had something in common that I could level with on and, gripe. Sometimes we just need someone to vent and to hear us. And it was lacking in my life. And I realized at that time, I kind of chalked it up to women as adults don't make friends. No new friends. Isn't that a saying? No new friends. Yeah, I really felt that that's where we were as adults. And it became harder too. The people that you grew up with, we all encounter growth at different stages, and we all go through different seasons of life at different times. So becoming an adult, knowing, some friends are going away to college, some people never came home from college, some got married right away, had babies, no, your friends are no longer on the same path as you. And that's challenging to move forward. And it wasn't until, I don't know, my daughter was, what am I, been a coach over 4 years now? So about 4 years ago, my coach reached out to me repeatedly, and she was a friend from high school. And finally was like, okay, I did the challenge group. I loved the community in the challenge group. I loved having all of those people on the same path, supporting one another with all different seasons in their lives. Some were married, some were single, some were, had 50 pounds to lose. Others just needed support to lose 5, change their eating habits. There was all different people in all different situations that were craving that same sense of help, support, accountability, acknowledgement. It's hard to do these things alone, and to have a group of 10, 15, 5 women that are doing the same thing as you at the same time, you have a place to go for support. Where if you're struggling and someone at home might not know what you're going through because they're not following the program, they aren't conscious of how much ice cream they're eating right now, if you don't have somebody that's on that same path as you, it's going to be even more, it's just going to make your journey that much more difficult to keep walking. As a coach in the last 4 years, my life has taken me in and out of different seasons, from bad breakups with boyfriends to new jobs, bad bosses, moves, you name it. Any different season of your life is going to make your day a little bit different. And not having consistency really has the ability to throw me off course so far that I could fall into a hole and think that nobody ever noticed. And that's what would happen. And it was the consistency of this team that is what pulled me out of those holes. I would see posts from Julie herself, and she would have her same high vibe energy and her go get 'em lifestyle, that I'd be sitting in this season of life where I was just feeling this sense of doom and despair. I'm like, oh, why did I walk away from that? I was a part of that group. I was participating in that. And this greatest part about this team, the door's always open. It's not shut on you because you've turned your back. We're all still here with open arms waiting for you to come back. And it was when I realized that I was the one that was outcasting myself from the group because I was embarrassed. I walked away because, life got hard and I had all of these, piles of excuses, that when I put them down and I set aside the idea that what I really need right now are people that know what I'm going through and people that accept what I'm going through as something they're struggling with too. And they found a way. And I went through enough seasons over the last 4 years that it was when I had the biggest storm of my life hit that it was this community that really got me out of it. And having this place to be consistent in one area. When life throws you curveballs, there's a lot of times things you can't control. It's out of your control when you lose your job, someone totals your car, when a boyfriend leaves you, when you realize the car that hit you didn't have insurance. Those things weren't in my control, but they broke me and they brought me to my knees. And I stared at the wall for weeks trying to figure it out. But it was having my fitness community have my back and know that they were still doing everything. I had a tool belt worth of things in my pocket to get me through that storm, because I had been here before. I had went into that dark tunnel and knew that if I didn't stay consistent and stay a part of the community, I might feel like everything was lost. So having this was a light in my life because it gave me a place to go when I was down and out. And it helped me again rebuild those stairs to come back out of the tunnel, because the consistency of this team is there and we encourage each other and empower one another. And when you're doing the work, coach or not, what I'm talking about as this community is really just based on the fitness community and the experience that I've gotten from it. But as a coach, you have that added layer of accountability. You have that added layer of, I've been a member on this team for 3-4 years. A lot of these girls have seen me here and seen my name and hear me comment and seen my results. And I'm now showing up for the girls that are new, or for the members who might be having a difficult season in their life too, and not showing up for them is also a part of it. So as the coach, you have that added layer of community, because now your vibe is what's bringing them back into. You realize that you have a responsibility to that community to be a part of it. And this open door policy, it's really special to have that as a light in my life. I know that there's a lot of people in here that have gone through things as well that I've had the opportunity to be a support to, and to pay that back, because I've had their hand to hold when I needed it.
Now that we're all crying. And I feel like this is the part of coaching that it's so hard to explain to people until you're in it, until you're living it. And I know what you've been through, and we've had so many coaches on our team who have just gone through just horrible life events that would absolutely break anybody. And we've all been able to be there as a team. And we have, coaches who have also gone through amazing things. We've been able to share the amazing things as well. And it really is that community that you can't put a price on. And it's not something that you could just create on your own. It's just this amazing synergy of everybody coming together and just being there for each other. So yeah, thank you. Does anybody have anything else to say about that? Because I know I can see all you guys up in the top nodding too.
I'm going to elaborate with what I talk about next, how they kind of go together.
All right, perfect. All right, I will go ahead and turn it over to you then. One of the next questions we get is, do I need to sell things? And so that is what Amy Hickson is going to be talking about.
So yes, I'm going to try and talk about sales, but just hearing PJ's story just stirred me up a little bit. So I'm going to talk about how the two of those things go together, because really all this, our success in this all comes down to telling our story. So one of the biggest objections, like Julie said, that we get is, do I have to be a salesperson? And ultimately, you do at some point have to make sales when you do this, this job. You're talking to people, getting them involved in the products that we're using. And so, yes, at some point a sale has to be made. But I think the biggest objection with that comes from the other things that we see on social media. We see network marketers, direct sales, spamming our Facebooks, adding us into groups that we don't want to be added to. Just those kinds of things that make us, or we get a random message, hey girl, from someone that you haven't spoken to in 20 years. And you're like, okay, you click on their profile and you see that their feed is nothing but sales ads and promos for, whatever it is that they're selling. So I think that is kind of where that objection comes from. But what we do is completely different. We're actually kind of the anti sales when it comes to those kinds of sales and marketing techniques. What we do all comes back to our story. And to go back to kind of what PJ said, she talks about all those things that she's gone through, and how this community is the thing that's brought her through. And I would say the same thing, and I'll share a couple stories with you. But when we share those things on social media, because this is a social media business, and one of the biggest things for me has been learning to let myself be vulnerable and be seen. But when you do that, just like some of the other girls have said, you do attract your people. People see your struggles and they see themselves in your struggles. They see how you're using this community and fitness to get you through those struggles. And that draws people to you who are just like you, who can relate to you. And then they want to be involved in what you're doing. So that's kind of how we get our message out. So I'm going to show you guys something. As I've been sitting here, I just got this message. Hopefully you can see this on my phone. So someone just sent me this and said, hey, you need these donut underwear. And the reason someone sent me that is because it's part of one of my things that I post about. People know that I love donuts. And yesterday I had posted that I had these donut shoes. And so people, as they're starting to be attracted to your story and I think it was it Amanda that said, like, people are commenting on her other stuff, her posts about work and her posts about, this and that. When you invite people into your life and you start making those connections, it's just crazy how many people want to be involved in what you're doing, because that's not a normal thing. People don't just go on, they sure don't, share the ugly sides of life and, the scary things and the embarrassing things and the hard things. And when you do, you are showing people that you're someone that they can trust. So again, kind of like PJ said, going through some of the hardest things. A year ago, my husband lost his job in a very public and embarrassing way. And without this community, I'm certain that I wouldn't have fared through it as well as I did. But besides that, the people that I have learned and grown to connect with on social media reached out to us by the hundreds, support of people that I don't know, but who know me and know my story. And they wanted to reach out and let me know, that they loved us and cared about us and were thinking about us and, supported us. And that's what this community does. So do we have to sell things? Yes. But not in that slimy, icky way that you are afraid that you might have to do. We have so much training. We're going to help you learn to craft your story and how to get those bits and pieces out. And if you were to go to any of our Facebook feeds or our Instagrams, you're going to see that how we share, bits and pieces of who we are, and not just fitness. You don't need to be 24/7 fitness. And we don't want you to be 24/7 Beachbody. So in fact, you'll see most of the training is about how to learn to share what you're doing without, spamming people with Beachbody pictures and ads and Shakeology pictures. And we're all guilty when you're new. We've all done, some of those kind of posts with our shaker. But there really is a whole lot more to learning how to market your story and you and your services versus trying to sell Shakeology and workouts. And you get so much training in how to do that. And when you learn to tell your story, that's when people learn to like and trust you. And that's how you grow your business in such an authentic and vulnerable and beautiful way that you actually are bringing people into your life who are going to be your lifelong closest friends, even if they don't live, in the same town as you. None of these ladies are close to me, and I consider them some of my, closest friends that I know I could call in a heartbeat and, tell my deep, dark secrets. And that's the place where I would be accepted, loved, lifted up. So that's what we do. So you do have to sell stuff, but not in an icky way.
And I think something super important to remember with that too is, if you have a favorite pair of jeans, you're going to tell your friends.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a new favorite color of lipstick or something, or you go to a new restaurant that you absolutely love, you're going to tell your friends. And so this is no different. We're doing things that are changing our own lives,
right,
and we're excited about it, and we're telling other people too.
Yeah, this has changed my life so drastically. I've lost 50 pounds, over 50 pounds that I've kept off in 3 years. My confidence is a different person. My income, this pays over, more than exceeds my mortgage, covers my mortgage every month, part-time. I work full-time as a high school counselor. So it has changed it's brought me all these people. It's one of the biggest lights in my life. And so I have no problem sharing that with people and inviting them to be a part of it.
I love that. That's amazing. All right, so next up we have Carol. She has been crushing her workout behind the scenes while her baby is napping, and she's getting it in while she can. And he's not. He's up. Baby monitor in hand. And she is going to be talking about working full time and being a mom and making this all work.
Hey guys. So in true working mom fashion, I feel like I was like, you guys are probably seeing my boobs and my armpits. I should probably turn off my video, but obviously that was part of what I was talking about. So I had to. This last month, July, was my 4-year coach anniversary. I actually started as a discount coach because, girl, I'm frugal. So make sure you pay attention later in this webinar. My glasses are foggy, and I'm trying to true working mom fashion rush. I have worked for Trader Joe's for 11 years, been a coach for 4 years, been married for 4 years, have a 14-month-old. And a lot of times I I'm told, not even asked, I can't do what you do. I have all these billions of things on my plate. Well, on top of that stuff, my marriage almost ended last year. So, we all have hard seasons that we go through. And like so many others have talked about, whether they're traveling or whether they're going through a hard season or the loss of a child or the end of a marriage and all of the amazing happy things, the birth of children, the people getting married, the opposites, everything. Our community is so great. So really that's actually what has pulled me through. I mean, I could work my job at Trader Joe's. They pay me very well. I have full benefits. I have free vision and dental. They pay me too much to leave. I'm not going to lie. I have been there a long time, but in the end, this community is always what pulls me back in when I'm in my slumps. And so even when I think I'm too busy, doing this is truly like fulfilling a passion of mine to help others. Melanie already talked a little bit about power pockets, and that was something that I was going to touch on. She talked about how when she's traveling a lot, she works in small increments, and that's basically what I have to do. I don't have 8 hours of time, and you don't need to have 8 hours of time. There are some people who do 8 hours of work once a week, and there are some people who, like me, I walk to work and I walk home. It's about a 10-minute walk, and so I put in my headphones and I listen to podcasts or audiobooks. I do that on my break. I message my clients and talk to them during my lunch breaks, during my 10-minute breaks. I used to never take those, by the way, because I'm such a type A. Like, I have so many things to do. I need to do all these things right now. And I would do crazy things on my breaks. No, this is what I do now. I work this business because this business, like others have talked about, has given me trips. It's allowed me to travel more. It's paid my car payment. A couple years ago, my husband, fortunately he's not anymore, but for 3 years, he was commuting over 2.5 hours to work every single day, 7 days a week. I don't know who you are, Denver, Colorado, stop calling me. See, I get to do things like that when you have such a busy life. We were able to buy a brand new car off the lot. We were the first ones in California to have that make and model in that color. Like, that was a big thing. We've always had used cars, and we were able to afford that extra car payment. We could have gotten a cheaper car and paid my student loans off, but that came later. So power pockets, I do personal development when commuting. And the biggest thing, again, has been that community support. Really, there's no way around it. I could tell you that you could multitask and do things like today. I knew I was talking at this specific time, and I knew I could maybe get my kid down for a nap, so I had to work out. There are things that you make non-negotiables, like those communicating with your clients. We call them the 4 vital behaviors. Getting in your personal development, getting in your workout, and being a product of the product, drinking your Shakeology. So those are things that I set at the top of my to-do list every single day. And if I get extra stuff done, whether I do 5 power pockets during the day, great. If I do 20 power pockets, if I get an hour to do work during a nap, that's how I do it. Everybody covered everything else I want to talk about. So that's pretty much it. You can, there's so many amazing opportunities. You can do this while you travel. You can do this while you're pregnant. You can do this postpartum. You can do this in the high seasons and the low seasons of life. But nothing beats our team, you guys.
And I love that it keeps coming back to that, because we all have our own topics to cover, but every single person keeps talking about like how much this has changed them for the better and how much the community has helped. And it's like, it's the one thing where you don't sign up necessarily for that, and that it helps and is more beneficial than almost anything else. And so like, I'm just seeing this theme repeated over and over and over with this.
I think one more thing I can touch on is, for those of you that don't know, for those of you that, are invited by a coach here or that are a coach, some of you guys don't know, I sustained a foot injury 8 years ago now. I had surgery 4 years ago, right before I became a coach, and I was denied physical therapy through workers' comp, not my job's fault, the insurance's fault. And I never healed. That kept me, I have 2 degrees to pursue a career in law enforcement, and it's kept me from that. Soul-sucking, dream-crushing shit, you guys. And that passion of mine to help other people has been fulfilled with coaching. I know Amanda, I think, talked about, not being in, the ideal weight or whatever, wherever your end point is. My end point may not ever be a thing, you guys. Coaching has allowed me to live my life not in pain every single day. And there are so many people with long-term illnesses who've battled and beat cancer that can do this. So don't limit yourself, don't limit your dreams, because you can do it even while working full-time.
I love that. And that's such an amazing perspective on it too. So I am going to be the next.
Can I add one thing?
Absolutely.
So Julia Connelly, she's a coach on my team, and she was going to speak with Carol as well. And she's a flight attendant with me, and that's how we met. And her mission right now is to quit flying. She's done. She's tapping out. And she's making it a mission to be top coach. And she has this vision, and she's very bold in what she does, and her approach to. And she's just honest and raw and vulnerable, and that's just her personality. But she is running with this because she wants this to be her full-time job. Yeah.
Specifically, Julia asked me to say, because she couldn't be on tonight, I said, tell me what you wanted to say so that way I can get it in there for you. She said, exactly what you're doing right now. When she can't do things because of her schedule, she can rely on our team. That's this community support we keep all mentioning. If she can't do a post, she can't do a video chat that she had scheduled, she can ask somebody to do it with her or for her. A couple other coaches who are on the call were actually running a challenge group together, and you know what? Their schedule meant that they couldn't do a certain post that they wanted to talk about, and so they asked me to do it, or vice versa.
Yeah, and Julia and I run challenge groups together all the time because we're living that same fly life and coaching, and yeah, we piggyback off each other. And her approach is different than mine, but we, like you said, Julie, we're very synchronistic. We're like, there's that synergy amongst us, and we create this amazing community of challengers, and our coaching team is growing. And I mean, you're all here. I've met a few of you with Summit, but like community, that if I could leave with any word, that would be it.
And I love, how you mentioned that you and Julia do things different and are different, but still make it work, because I'm sure that there are things that you say and the way you do things that relate to people that she might relate to different people. And so that really helps too, just to see it from a different perspective. And I had the same thing. I've been doing like live workouts like this with a lot of my challengers lately, and the fire alarm in my building goes off all the time. And it went off once at like 12:30 in the morning, and I was up until about 2 a.m. and I was exhausted. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get up at 6 o'clock. So I posted in the coach group asking if somebody could host it for me so my challengers could still get on and people were able to hop on and still make it work. And, we really do all have each other's back. So, all right, I am going to be talking next about how we actually earn money and the income potential with this. So we've heard a lot of coaches doing this part-time and wanting to do this part-time. And, Melanie said that she loves her job and doesn't want to leave her job. And then Julia, on the other hand, is working to move this towards her full-time business and quit being a flight attendant. So for me, I've been a coach for about 6.5 years now. And when I first started, I started for the discount. I really didn't know anything about it. I had been doing P90X, posting my workouts on Facebook. People were asking what I was doing. And I found out that I could get a discount on my own products. And I thought maybe I could earn a little bit on the side. At the time, I had worked for GM for years. I left there to find my happiness. I didn't care what I made. I just knew that no matter what I did, I had to be happy. I was working midnights and overtime and swing shift. And I was completely not fulfilled in my job. My last job, sorry, my cat is like up and down off the back of my chair. The last job that I had there, I literally drilled 8 screws into a piece of plastic and then pushed the plastic aside and did that for 9.5 hours a day. And I was like, I don't care what I do. I just have to be happy. So I left that. I became a dog groomer while I was going to school for aesthetics. I loved both. Neither of them pay well. And I ended up working full-time in a spa, which I absolutely loved, and just kind of fell into this and thought I would do it part-time. The more that I started getting into the coach community and I started hearing all these success stories from other coaches and hearing the potential, I was like, if they can do that, I can too. And that was the first time that I really thought about even doing this full time and then really going for it. It ended up being perfect timing because a year later, I unexpectedly lost my job at the spa, and I've been a full-time coach ever since. So it's been about 5.5 years now. And it's always kind of funny because at the time I was married, I've now been divorced for about 3 years. And at the time, I think nobody wants to believe that you can do this and make something of it and have it be a legitimate career. And so, at first it was like, okay, well, you're also an esthetician. And then I wasn't doing that. And then they're like, well, you're married. Your husband must support you. And then he left his job to do this. And then now I'm single and still doing this and still surviving and thriving and doing this on my own. Also with the community, it got me through my divorce. It got me through an even worse breakup after that. It gave me the tools, the freedom, and the personal development and the growth to move across country from Buffalo, New York to Virginia because I wanted less snow. And so all of that wouldn't have been possible without the personal growth and the community of coaching as well. So there are a few ways to earn an income with coaching. The first is we get a 25% discount on everything that we purchase. And then we also get a 25% commission. So we are given a website where you just share that link with anybody. It has your coach ID attached to it. So anytime somebody wants to purchase something from you, you give them a link and then you earn a 25% discount. And we are paid weekly by direct deposit. So you don't have to cash a check. And every Thursday, that paycheck is going to be waiting for you in your bank account. As you start to grow your business, you start to also earn cycle bonuses. And the cycle bonuses start off small. They start off between $14 and $18 a cycle. As you build your business, that ends up being the majority of your income. And that is based on not only what you do, but also what your team and your coaches do. So the really nice thing about this, again, with the community is there's no competition. And in fact, the better the team does, the better everybody else does. And so we really get to work together and cheer each other on and help each other out. And then after that, there are also different bonuses depending on your rank. I know Melanie mentioned the trips. There are tons of trips you can earn. And then just other perks and bonuses along the way, like personal development books, bobbleheads, coolers, hats. Like they just send us really, really cool things for helping out. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just to show what my income has been since I've become a coach. I hope you guys can see this. Sometimes my, and the chat's not, is the chat box in the way from this? Okay, perfect. Sometimes technology hates me. But another, more proof that like anybody can do this. So when you first start out as a coach, like I said, you are earning retail only. And I remember my first baby goal as a coach was to earn an income every single week because I had this like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off thing. And that ended up being my first goal. After about a year of coaching, I was earning between $200 and $500 a month. And it was building up slowly, but I was still being consistent and still putting in the work. And then you can see after 3 years just how much that had increased. And at that point, I was getting 3 paychecks a week. And then I also have one of my quarterly bonuses in there as well, because once you hit a certain rank, you get to earn quarterly bonuses. And so this kind of shows you just how much, the income disclaimer is down there, just putting the work in and showing up every day. Just signing up as a coach doesn't get you results like this. Just like if you were to start a workout, you have to put in the work, you have to be consistent, you have to follow the meal plan, you have to do your workouts every single day. And when you're consistent, that's when you see those results. And this is from me showing up and really putting everything I had into it. I did all the trainings, I joined every coach group that I could, and I set out to help as many people as I could. And so this is from that. And then let me see if I can. Okay, here we go. And then this is a couple screenshots from another coach group that I'm in, and it just kind of shows some of the potential too. If you do decide to go beyond just doing this as a side hustle and a part-time job, and if you really do want to change your life, this kind of shows just what you can do. I love the one at the very bottom. It says, 4 years ago, I was selling things on eBay and Craigslist to get enough money around to pay for Christmas and my family. Today, my paycheck was nearly $10,000. To say this has changed my family's life is such an understatement. Thank you, Beachbody, for blessing our lives. Here's another one. As a 19-month-old coach, to open my commissions today and see it totaling over $6,000, I could cry. I'm a small-town girl, a 2-time college dropout, and I'm on cloud 9. Thank you, Beachbody. My family is so thankful. And it really is amazing just what you can do when you do decide to go all in with something and not to tiptoe and just to kind of put your fears aside and just really decide to go for it. So I hope that helped. And if you guys have any questions, I hope we answered everything. And then Tori is going to take over and close us out, tell you guys how to actually get started with this and to join our coach team and to start changing your life and the lives of others.
Hey, well, that was just amazing. And I'm all emotional because I am a highly emotional person. But truly, this community, I mean, we just keep talking about it, but it just really is amazing, incredible. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys can see, but my child is in the background because that's how I do things. I'll tell you a little bit about my story just to kind of piggyback off of what everybody else has said, and then I will get you the goods about how to sign up, how to join our team. We are ready to welcome you with open arms. I started as a coach about 4 years ago, and I was actually working 2 jobs at the time. We had just moved from Alabama to New York, and I was working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Hey, Adeline. I was working 14, 15-hour days, completely exhausted and in the worst health of my life. And as everybody was talking about all of the different objections that people have and all of the things that scare people about coaching, I was every single one of them. I was in terrible health. I was extremely overweight. I was not really great at social media. I didn't have a huge following. I was working 2 jobs. I had 0 time. I was in a new place. I knew no one. Like, it was just not an ideal time, but there never really is an ideal time to do something that could change your life. And I started just because I was at a very low place in my life. I had just been given a very scary health diagnosis. Can you please go in the other room? And I knew that it was time for me to finally make a real change. I had done the weight loss pills and the shots and the starving myself. I'd done all of those things. And this for me looked like, oh, it's actually exercise and people that are going to hold me accountable. And the person that I'd been following that was doing all of these incredible things was like, oh, and you can get a discount and you can share your story. And I was like, okay, that was totally me. I was like, I like talking to people. I like inspiring people. I'm a teacher. And so I did it for that extra accountability. And when I tell you that it has changed every single aspect of my life, from my weight, I've lost over 80 pounds about 3 times now because I've been pregnant 3 times. I was able to get pregnant when I was told that I wasn't going to be able to get pregnant. I was able to quit both of my jobs so I could be home with my babies once I did get pregnant. It's changed my marriage. It's changed my outlook on life. And we've mentioned this over and over again, but in those low times, it was that support for me. I lost my son in the midst of coaching, and I turned to this community. These were the people I turned to. These were the people that rallied around me. These were the people that showed up at my house with food, gave me gift cards to go out to eat, showed up at my son's funeral. Like, it was these people I would have never, ever met if I hadn't said yes to something that was terrifying, that I honestly had no money to pay for at the time, because like I said, I was working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. And now our life is like a complete 180. I mean, it's given me the potential to we run a nonprofit in my son's honor, and I still run a banging business with women who get incredible results, and I get to get incredible results. And it's an incredible opportunity that if you don't say yes to, you never know what will happen. You never know what could happen from this. And so with that being said, I'm going to tell you how you can say yes. And join this and make friends. And I mean, if it was for just the people alone, it's worth any amount of money that you could pay for it. But fortunately, you don't have to pay a fortune. and you get stuff that's going to actually help your life, not like, so I had like, you know, kind of looked into ways to make other money, like taking surveys online and signing up for all these things where you have to buy all of these products that you have sitting at your house. And this seems so lucrative to me because I didn't have to buy all this junk that I wasn't going to use. I was actually going to get products that I could use to improve my life. And then they were going to handle all the back end stuff to send products to my people. So I like that as a businesswoman. So what you can do is you want to talk to the coach that invited you here and get hooked up with products. We call them a challenge pack, and it's just a package of all of the things that you're going to need to get started on your health journey using the products, because if you're not a product of the product, who are you going to help, right? People want to see you using it. They want to see real life. We talked about this so many times. People connect to you because of your real story. And so to use the products, you're like a walking billboard. So you're going to get awesome superfoods. You're going to get the most incredible streaming workouts. Like when I started, you had to purchase every single individual workout, and you paid the same price to purchase one workout. Instead of now, you get hundreds of workouts, all the meal plans, plus recipes, plus a cooking show, like all of this stuff packaged into the same price that we were paying for one workout. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Plus you get plugged into the community. You get an opportunity to get plugged into my favorite thing, because I'm a teacher, a challenge community where other people are working on their health and fitness goals. You get your business startup kit, all the trainings, all that stuff for $160, $170 and up, depending on what you want to bundle in your package. But normally just to sign up without that stuff is $40. That fee gets waived, which is an incredible deal. I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing to think, oh, I could start this business that could allow me to quit my job or pay my mortgage or whatever for this tiny little bit of money. That also includes the products that you're going to use to change your life. So that is that. And then as the months go on, you pay a $15 monthly fee that just covers your back end things, because you get a website and you get this whole back office that has all of the incredible tools, the trainings that I mentioned, ongoing support from an amazing company that has people first. That was so important to me. It was a relationship building, people first company. And it's that simple. It's that easy. Did I miss anything? I had like this whole thing planned, and she was supposed to be in bed, and here we are. But this just shows you guys it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I'm sitting here with I like lists. I'm sitting here with my lists and my notebooks. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular and perfect for it to work, because these are the people that I'm trying to reach, these people that are in this season of life with me. I also have a 5-month-old baby that my husband has. And it's changed his life too, which is just an added bonus. And Amy talked earlier, and our husbands have become really good friends because of this. So there's just so many benefits that I could never even squeeze into one little call. But I mean, you want to add anything?
Yeah, no, that was amazing. Like you literally covered everything. And she's such a cute little cheerleader back there.
My challengers love her.
Mention is just military discount.
Oh yeah. So military and military, like current military and their spouses, that business fee gets waived. So that I think it's $15.95 a month. It gets waived if you're military or a active duty military spouse. And then also for veterans, just the veteran themselves, that fee is waived. So I actually have a couple of people on my team who get to use that, which is really awesome. Yes. So even if you're just doing it for the discount, it's like free discount, free VIP membership. Because you don't have to pay that. Yeah.
Just too cute. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing your stories. This is absolutely amazing, and just like got me hyped up again. And like, I want to sign up to be a coach all over again. I absolutely loved this, and you guys are just amazing. So thank you for taking your time to hop on the call, and thank you for taking your time for sharing all of this. And I did mention that we're going to be doing a giveaway. So anybody who signs up and joins our team of coaches by Wednesday night, midnight Eastern Standard Time, you'll be entered into a raffle to earn an Amazon gift card. So that's something else to help you on your journey. You can buy your first personal development book with it, or anything else you want. Amazon's pretty addicting. So I hope we answered all your questions. And like Tori said, get in touch with the coach that invited you to this webinar, and they will be able to get you everything that you need to get started. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.